There are lots of people like me who are not afraid to die. I love my girlfriends to death, but I would rather die for them to secure their safety, freedom, and future than to live and not have anything done.
He's not saying anything new. He's just saying the quiet part out loud. That mentality is at the heart of Black Lives Matter. That mentality is at the heart of Antifa. All right, I want to get into this Matt Walsh situation. Matt Walsh, a very popular member of the Daily Wire team. He's done, other than Ben Shapiro, he's probably the most popular guy over at the Daily Wire ever since he did the documentary, What is a Woman? He's in the middle of this transgender fight. He understands it. He's not backing down. He and his family have faced all kinds of threats. They're trying to intimidate this man and back him down. We pray for Matt regularly here at Fearless. I hope you do as well. The fight has escalated. Under the pretense of a hack, someone has gotten access to his phone. Anyway, I'm going to read from Jeremy Boring, the CEO of the Daily Wire. Everybody took notice of this 2-3 days ago when Matt Walsh's Twitter feed started tweeting out a bunch of stuff that sounded silly and didn't sound like him, and a lot of it was inappropriate. But Jeremy Boring put out a statement last night. You may be aware that Matt Walsh had his Twitter account hacked last night. What you may not know is that the attack went well beyond Twitter. The hackers have managed to gain access to, well, everything, including 20 years of Matt's emails. The war, the culture war that we're having, the trans war that we're having, just went to the next level. It just went to the next level. I'm going to continue reading from Jeremy Boring here. This may not be on screen. What scandalous information will the hackers find in Matt's emails? I do not know. I'm sure I said things in my 20s that I wouldn't feel great having aired publicly. What will the Daily Wire's response be to things 20-year-old Matt may have said? Laugh out loud. Awesome. That's exactly what they should do. Someone hacked my emails or hacked the Jason Whitlock of 20, 30 years ago. I've said all kinds of incredibly stupid things, inappropriate things. This is love with you, and I don't care what the guy said 20 years, and I'm talking about anything. I don't care. I know and I believe where Matt Walsh stands today. I love it. I love it. I support it. We're going to protect this guy at all costs. Jeremy goes on to say this hack, as terrible and invasive as it is just another day at the office for us. Here's a brief look at just the last 48 hours. First, Matt Walsh was demonetized on YouTube for violating some opaque, arbitrarily applied standard or another related to speaking the biological truth about Dylan Mulvaney. I can't be more specific because the capriciousness is the point for these platforms. Just 24 hours later, Brett Cooper was permanently banned from TikTok. Her crime, I don't know, because its capriciousness is the point. At the exact moment Matt Walsh was being hacked by criminals, Michael Knowles was being evacuated from Pitt Tweet, I think, is that the University of Pittsburgh? Maybe, yeah, University of Pittsburgh, because of a violent riot protecting his speech in which trans activists and sundry other leftists burned Michael in effigy and tussled with police. That's just the last 48 hours, and that's in addition to all the usual death threats, harassment, corporate targeting that are daily companions of the real Daily Wire. He goes on to explain how much money this is costing the Daily Wire, and he goes on to explain how the entire system is rigged against conservative media outlets, and how we're financially punished for not adopting left-wing positions on everything. That there's a whole, you gotta go read the tweet thread because it explains, look, tech giants like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and until Elon Musk wrote a check at Twitter, Flagging, banning, throttling, shadow banning, and demonetizing us is a constant occurrence. We're continually fact-checked. Almost all the fact checks are removed on appeal, but not before the desired effect of stunning our reach and effectiveness and making it impossible to earn revenue. Billionaire-funded nonprofits like, I think this is Media Matters. Yeah, Media Matters pay people to post out-of-context clips of our shows and to pressure advertisers not to spend money with us. The reason I'm saying all this, it's not just the Daily Wire. This is across the board. This is what happens to Blaze Talent. This is what Steven Crowder was talking about. This is why when I start the show and I start talking about hit the likes, and fighting the algorithm, we're up against it. There is a trans war. I'm calling it a trans war, and you can hear the gender dysphoria in that. But the trans war is really about transitioning America to a satanic culture, period, end of story. It is happening right before our eyes. Right before our eyes. And many of you are just, it's gonna go back to normal. It's gonna go away. I'm just gonna sit here patiently until sanity returns. It's not going to just return. We're going to have to do something about it. And that's why when I was talking about roll call and the suggestions, the things that I want us focusing on about getting our minds right, we have to get our minds right. We have to understand our identity. And the reason why you hear me talk all the time about Matt Walsh, and I celebrate Matt Walsh like he's my co-host here at The Blaze. It's because I believe Matt Walsh, and he identifies as a Christian, he is on my team. And that's the team we all have to get on. Matt Walsh is not some white guy. Matt Walsh is not he's not even a Catholic to me, and I know that he's a Catholic. He's a Christian. He's not any of these other identities that are different from me. He's a Christian, and he's putting his beliefs and finances on the line to support biblical values. I respect the hell out of Matt Walsh, and I'm going to support him like a true teammate. And that doesn't mean everything Matt Walsh does I'm going to agree with, and I may occasionally criticize him. Hey, I had some criticisms of What is a Woman? I wish they had made God more front and center. I think now as we've gotten further down the road, they can probably understand why I had that criticism. We're in a battle of good versus evil. To some of you that are secular, soft believers, that may sound crazy, that may sound apocalyptic, that may sound like a conspiracy theory, exaggerated. You're going to find out what this is about. And when I'm going to play you this video of this transgender man, this man who thinks he's a woman, and he's telling you to your face the mentality of the other side. And then maybe you'll understand what type of war we're in. It's not just going to go away. The other side has soldiers willing to die, willing to lay their life on the line for their satanic worldview. These are not harmless people. These aren't people that, they just want to live and let live. They want to impose their worldview on the rest of us. They want to transition this country from a biblical Judeo-Christian culture and what it used to be. It's not anymore. But they're just not satisfied with a secular culture. They are going to push a satanic culture until they have it. And they're willing to die for that right and to win this transitional culture war that we're in. Let's play the clip of the trans man letting you know what lengths he's willing to go to see his worldview prevail.
If you back a wild animal into a corner, they're going to become a dangerous animal. So if you want to die on that hill of yours of righteousness and moral majority, then you go right ahead. I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. This is a call to action and a call to arms to everybody within the United States that are scared, worried, have children that are transgender, lesbian, bi, or gay. This is a call to action. You need to arm up. Plain and simple. Go out, buy a gun. Learn how to use it efficiently, through and through. Because the time to act is now. You need to protect yourself, and you need to protect your fellow transgender brothers and sisters and theys and thems. You need to protect the rest of us in the LGBT community, as I'm going to do myself. Because there are lots of people like me who are not afraid to die. I love my girlfriends to death, but I would rather die for them to secure their safety, freedom, and future than to live and not have anything done. So you go ahead. You protect your kids from me using the bathroom. You've been warned.
He's not saying anything new. He's just saying the quiet part out loud. That mentality is at the heart of Black Lives Matter. That mentality is at the heart of Antifa. I've told you all for years, from the inception of Black Lives Matter, this was nothing to do with black people. This was always the LGBTQ movement. And when those three black Marxist lesbians founded Black Lives Matter, and a lot of you all went for the okie doke and went for the BS, I was saying as loudly as I could, this ain't black, this is gay, this is LGBTQ, this is silent P. Pedophilia. That's what it is. And you can live in denial and, oh, I got a gay friend and they're not like that. And I'm not saying they all are. But that movement has been hijacked by guys like that who want to overturn 250 some odd years of tradition and history and 6,000 years of biblical wisdom. Because that man feels like a woman. We're going to upset and turn over the whole thing because there's some people that have sticks and balls who feel like a woman. Or there's some women with vaginas who wish they had sticks and balls. Now, I'm sorry, I feel sorry for them. Thank God it's not me. But we're not overturning all of this for them. More than happy to help them get the counseling and the mental health care that they need. But that man in a bathroom with your daughter, if you're a coward and don't want to do anything about that man being in a bathroom, in a shower, competing against your daughter, they got a special place in hell for you. Special place. If that doesn't provoke you, if this is the world you want to leave your kids and your grandkids, where that man, Richard Levine, and that's not Richard Levine or Rachel Levine or whatever he's calling himself, but that's his kindred spirit. That's his brother from another mother. I don't dislike these people, but it's not their country to run. And they have armed up. They've been armed up at these Black Lives Matter riots and looting. They've been armed up at these overtaking of these Chaz cities through Antifa. It's always the lunatic, gender dysphoric people at the heart of that. And they're willing and ready and anticipating doing violence so that their worldview will prevail. We got to get our minds right, and we got to prepare for what's coming. This will not be easy.